Hey all, this is Kyle. It's been a while since I've done anything or put anything out here. I think the Dad Snark podcast is going to live on. I think it's going to be a little bit different from what we've been doing before. I've kind of had to be dependent on others, and everybody's schedule is so busy, it's just not working out. I have such a long commute every day that it's pretty easy for me to record something coming from work. And in addition, I'm trying to build out a studio in my basement, office type studio where I can do a variety of things in addition to an audio podcast like this. I will have some episodes I'm hoping for that will incorporate video, and I've bought a little bit of equipment for that in addition to a nicer microphone for recording at home. Picked up one of the Nessies by Blue. Got that sucker for only $30, man. I'm telling you, if you haven't heard that microphone and how great it is incredible. So I'm really looking forward to using that. As a matter of fact, I think even if we do podcasts with guests and stuff like that, unless they're coming in over Skype or something, that's probably going to be the microphone that I'll go to most of the time. I do have an old Blue Snowball as well, and I still do have my other setup, so I could use that also. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. First get it going, and then we'll see what happens. Anyway, I thought that for my inaugural edition of this new kind of reboot thing, what I would do is record while I'm on my way. I'm doing something super duper nerdy right now. On my way down to the last day of Planet Comicon here in Kansas City on a whim. I like going to Planet Comicon. I love it. It's a lot of fun to just poke around, look around, see if there's anything cool there I'm interested in. And kind of last second, it's a little expensive just for probably 3.5 hours or so, but maybe 3 hours. But, you know, it's worth it because I like looking at that stuff. I like poking around, trying to see if there's anything that I feel like I've got to have, which of course I don't need, but you know how it goes. And I love my kids and all that stuff, but you know, really with them, it's kind of a hassle because all they're going to do is beg me for stuff that they really don't care much about. So they're not really into the true comic situation, the true love of comic books and of graphic novels and all that stuff, and the nerddom that goes along with it. So I talked to my wife. She's kind of incapacitated right now as far as walking long distances because she's had some surgery on her Achilles tendon. So really the only smart thing to do is for me to go solo. So I strapped on my Bloodsport t-shirt, my Evil Dead hat, ball cap, and I am on my way to go check it out. Got my earbuds, my Bluetooth earbuds, and my Garmin smartwatch so I can walk around and kind of listen to music while I'm poking through things and looking around, and just gonna go fart around and be a nerd dad for 3 hours or so on my own. Kind of looking forward to it. It should be kind of fun. But that's what I'm up to today. And, you know, I'm interested in finding a few things. You know, there's always a few things that I have my eyes open for and that I'm looking for. And I'll see if I can come across it. There's a few of the Marvel Super Special books that I'm missing. I'd like to get a complete set if possible. I wish I knew where my Death of Captain Marvel book was, because I have that first print of that, but I'm sure it's long gone, because that's the first one of those, if you don't know much about the Marvel Super Special series. But other than that, I just kind of want to poke around and look around, people watch, you know, glance at some stars from a distance. Same stuff I usually do when my wife goes along with me and my kids, but just, you know, solo this time. So anyway, what am I into right now? I'll just kind of do things the same way that I usually do them on the Dad Snark podcast, and that's probably what this will continue as. I'm just going to breathe a little new life into it. And what I'm planning on doing with video and stuff is I'm hoping to eventually even do some short reviews of some nerd tech equipment type stuff, things like that for people who may be interested in some of the stuff I'm interested in, and just see what people think about that. So anyway, what am I into right now? I'm into a lot of things. You know, I really loved Us by Jordan Peele. I thought that movie was something else. My buddy Mikey and I went and checked it out at a late show, like a 10:30 show on that Friday. And, I kind of fell in love with it, man. I'd already seen Get Out, and I loved it, and I was pretty jazzed about Twilight Zone coming up with him hosting. But, yeah, I really love that movie. I thought it was pretty fantastic. I know there's lots of theories and stuff going around, and I think it does have a somewhat racial undertone to it, but that's okay, man. I mean, let's be honest here. Dude, black characters in horror movies and in all movies, really, but especially horror movies, black characters always die, man, and they always die horrible, ridiculous deaths and all that stuff, and so do white characters and all that stuff, but I get where he's coming from. I kind of understand, but not that really has much to do with the movie. The whole idea behind the movie and the whole underlying text of that film is so bizarre and creative and unique that I freaking adore it. Pay attention if you go see it. You're going to see an opening scene where there's some videotapes next to an old tube television, like on an old shelving unit / entertainment center type, not really an entertainment center, but you'll see a TV up on a shelf playing a newscast, and you'll see some videotapes around it. Pay attention, because there's some stuff in those videotapes that has to do with what's really going on in this story. That's all the more I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. There's some twists. There's some crazy shit going on. You're not going to believe what the movie's really about and what's going on with these doppelgangers and all that stuff. I know if you've seen the trailer, you understand there's doppelgangers and all that, but it's very interesting and a very unique, weird idea. Pretty much right after, like the next day or two, we were out shopping around. I think we might have been at Walmart or Target. I can't remember. But I saw the Blu-ray for Get Out. And I'm like, I'd like to see that movie again. That was an interesting movie, and I liked it as well. Definitely way more stuff associated with racism and stuff in that movie. But it's still a very unique, interesting story. And I said, man, maybe I'll get that Blu-ray. And I think it was like $10. Then I started looking around. Shit, man, I could get the 4K Blu-ray for $14. So I went ahead and ordered that on Amazon, and we watched it, actually. The whole family watched it. There's really nothing in it that's too bad. There's some dialogue in it that has some pretty foul, sexually charged language. But, we kind of skedaddled through that and didn't make a big deal out of it. But, man, that movie's really good, too. And I watched some of the extra bonus features on it, including the alternate ending. And that's an incredible film, man. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing Us again, and I'm really looking forward to Twilight Zone coming out tomorrow, April 1st. Now, I know a lot of people are kind of pissy pants about it because the first couple episodes they've had trailers for are remakes of old episodes from the classic show. Nightmare at 30,000 Feet, it's called. And then also The Comedian. Those are reboots of old versions of the same thing, but I like what I see. I think it's going to be unique and different and still carry on that feeling of Twilight Zone and that love for Twilight Zone. And I can tell, listening to Jordan Peele talk and by watching the trailers and interviews I've seen with him about Twilight Zone and hosting it, he has the same feelings and love for Twilight Zone that I do. And if you guys don't know this, probably a lot of people don't, but you can ask. I know somebody you can ask. Her name is Stacia. She's on Facebook, but she was a friend of mine in high school. And my nickname she gave me was Mr. Death, which is based on a character in an old Twilight Zone episode. And the reason she gave me that is because I watched so much Twilight Zone, so many reruns. My mom had bought me a book called The Twilight Zone Companion. And I literally checked off every single episode until I got to the point where there were like 3 or 4, maybe 5 that I had not seen. And the reason I had not seen those is because they were never rebroadcast. You can watch all those episodes streaming now. The biggest one is called An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge. And it's actually a film that won the Cannes Film Festival that year. I think it's the last aired episode of Twilight Zone, if I remember correctly, from the original series with Rod Serling. But check out that episode if you've not seen it. I know I watched it on Hulu with my son, and he really liked it. He likes Twilight Zone. Another one is called, oh my gosh, I cannot remember what it's called, but George Takei is in it. Sulu from Star Trek. He is in it, and it is an amazing episode too, about a man who is cleaning out, who helps kind of a racist guy clean out his garage or his attic, and they find a samurai sword that this white guy had taken off a dead Japanese soldier during World War II. And the Japanese guy, George Takei, opens the sword, and there's an inscription on it, which basically tells him he has to kill whoever has this sword unless it's this certain person who's supposed to have the sword. Man, incredible, tense, amazing dialogue-packed episode of Twilight Zone. I can see why it wasn't re-aired, because it's kind of controversial, but in addition to that, most people might not find it that interesting. Anyway, so I'm really into Jordan Peele stuff right now. I'm really excited about the new Twilight Zone. Other than that, you know, I did go see Captain Marvel. I liked it. I'm somewhat excited to see Avengers Endgame. I'm not excited about the 3+ hour runtime, but hey, it is what it is. I'll go check it out. I'm excited baseball's back, even though I don't know how good the Royals are going to be. Though they are in first place right now. They're 2-0. I'm not sure how they're going to be, but I'll go see them a couple times this year. I love my Royals, and I love baseball, so I'm excited that's back. I'm excited we're going back down to our favorite location in Florida for our vacation this year. Looking forward to that, getting on the beach. That's going to be a great time. What's bugging me right now? You know, just the same old shit. The xenophobia, the paranoia, the sickness of our country. But again, I'm going to come back to this. I come back to it a lot, but man, I'm so tired of people treating each other like shit. It really sucks, man. And you know, it goes in a lot of different directions too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm going to say a majority of it is coming from these racists out there and these xenophobic white nationalist morons. You know, man, crawl back under your fucking rocks and go away, man. Fuck you. That's how I feel about it, man. You know, we started watching Queer Guy for the Straight Guy, the new version on Netflix, and I got to tell you, if you watch an episode of that and you see where they go to a devout Christian's home and they help the guy kind of get his charm back on, and the way he dresses and the way he lives and the way his house is set up and all that stuff, and he ends up giving them hugs and telling them he loves them and thank you so much. And I mean, you realize that we are all just human beings, man. We're all humans. Quit shitting on each other because somebody's different from you. If you don't like that, fuck you, man. You're different too, motherfucker, and we put up with your shit all the time. So quit it. Quit it. I'm not going to judge people unless they're judging me or they're acting in a way which is hurting other people. So quit it. It's ridiculous. It's sad. It's antiquated. It's old-fashioned bullshit. Quit it. Nobody gives a shit what your hang-ups are. If you got hang-ups, go get help and get rid of them. I used to have hang-ups too, man. Fuck that. Life's too short, man. We're all people. We're all just trying to figure things out for ourselves. And that's what I teach my kids. My kids are going to, you know, if you're a shithead who's treating people like shit because they're black or they're gay or they're transvestite or transsexual or they're women, you know, fuck you. Or they're Islamic or whatever. Fuck you. You know, my kids will be your boss someday. And why is that? It's because they know to accept people and only judge people based upon their actions. You know? That's what it comes down to, your actions. And when you say shitty things, that's part of your actions. You need to really stop and think about who you are. Because 9 times out of 10, the people you're criticizing are better humans than you are. End of story. Enough on that. I'm not going to talk about it because it gets me heated, obviously. So I'm getting closer. I'm coming around the curve here, heading into the Jackson Curve. I'm heading down into downtown Kansas City. Going to go check out the Comicon. I'm excited about it. Maybe find me another Hawkman shirt. But that's really about it. I might find a few books. We'll see. I'll report it back to you and put some links and pictures and stuff up in the notes. And I may find a new place for the website to live. I'll let you know about that as I go. But right now, I'm really just looking to get this podcast rolling, maybe in a slightly different direction. I've noticed I've had more episodes myself than with people. I've only had 3 episodes with other people. And I probably had 8 or more, or 10 or 12 with just me. So it's just me. And if someone else is invited and as a guest, that's icing on the cake, right? All right, guys, that's really about it. I don't have a poop story for you. That may change too. We may just make it embarrassing stories, because I think that opens people up and lets them be vulnerable and really speak what's going on in their mind. So we may do something like that. But I will say something that is never, ever going to change. I'm still an old fart. I'm still a suburban dad. And please get off my lawn. Thank you.